It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Welcome to Mr. Wendling's neighborhood. So if this is our M check, we're gonna start down here with the front of the bike and we're gonna make the letter M. So go up, and down. It's kind of sideways M, kind of crookedy mountains. But we're gonna start down here with the quick release, come up to the brake, hand brakes, gears, come down to the chain down here, make sure the pedals, crankshaft, and the kickstand are working order. Come up here to the seat post, and then back here to the back brakes and wheel. To start out with the M check, we're gonna start out with the front. To get the wheel off, you need to both take the quick release off and the front brake. So it's a quick release because it's quick to release. Just open it up, lefty loosey, open that up, and then we're gonna work on the front brake here. So let me give you a closer look. The quick release right here, we're just gonna pull open, okay? And we're either gonna hold this side or hold this side and loosen the other side. Just like a jar of jelly, you have to hold one or else it's not gonna open. So I'm holding one side over here and I'm just gonna spin the other side to the left or counterclockwise until I feel it's nice and loose. That is half of it right there. Okay, the other part, I'm gonna go up here to the front brake and I can just pinch these together right there, okay? So by pinching these together, I'm then gonna be able to pull the cable out, and my front brake is released and my front tire is off. Okay, to put a wheel back on a bike, we're gonna go ahead and flip it over. It's a lot easier using the 9.8 meters per second squared. Gravity, it helps out. So we're gonna take the quick release, remember our quick release over here, and we are going to match it. So I don't see it on this side, it's over here on this side. So that means I want the wheel to flip around. Quick release is on this side. Drop it in the fork, and now I'm just gonna do the exact opposite what I did to take the wheel off. I'm gonna hold on to one side as I tighten the other, go clockwise this time, and tighten it down. For my brake, I'm gonna pinch this piece together now and put the cable in the basket. Give it a spin, test it, we're good. So a different angle of this. I've started, all I've done, I've dropped the wheel in, I've matched the quick release side to the quick release side back there, and I'm gonna hold one side while I tighten the other, going clockwise. Now, the trick on this, how tight you want it. On this piece right here, I'm looking for pressure once it gets to 45 degrees. Okay, 45 degrees right there. I don't feel any pressure. So I'm gonna keep holding on to one side, tightening the other, until I feel that pressure. Okay, I'm starting to feel pressure about 45 degrees right there. Okay, so from there, I can give the other side just a little tiny turn to make sure we're secure, hold on to the fork and push it down with my palm. If I feel like it pops out easy, all I'm gonna do is tighten it up a quarter turn, lock it down again. Put the bike back up on the stand and flipped it around to check out the gears. Okay, up here, we have 3 gears on our left side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 7 gears on my right side. 3 times 7 is 21, so this is a 21 speed bike. When we shift gears, we generally want to keep low gears with low gears. So if I'm in 1 over here, I'm going to stay with 1, 2, 3 over here. If I'm on 3 over here, I'm gonna stay with 5, 6, 7 over here. Okay, that eliminates cross chaining. Cross chaining is generally what knocks your chain off of its bike if not like a bump or something like that in the trail. So we do not want a cross chain. It's also bad for your chain. It stretches it out. You have to end up getting a new chain. So we're going to keep our gears low with low and high with high. These buttons right here are going to be what switch your gears. Okay, so while I'm pedaling at a constant rate, in order to go up on the left side, I'm going to push my thumb in. And in order to go down, I'm going to pull my finger toward me. That's the opposite on this side. Okay, so on this side, if I want to go down, I'm going to push my thumb in, and if I want to go up, I'm going to pull my finger in. Our left side, 1, 2, 3 are going to be the bigger changes, and then our right side, 1 through 7, are going to be the more, the smaller, the littler changes. Okay, so what I'm going to do in order to test this bike, I'm going to start pedaling at a constant rate, and then I'm just going to click through the gears. As I click through the gears, I'm going to make sure that the chain is able to go down into each gear and then back up. I'm going to do the same thing on the left side then. Dreaded chain falling off. Okay, I remember if you guys ever rode a 1-speed bike, if your chain ever fell off, it was a big deal. But on 21-speed bikes like these, that's no big deal, right? Chain falls off. Look, the pedals move, but the wheel does not. So we have a simple fix to this. Your hands will get greasy, but this piece right here is going to create slack in the chain. Okay, it's tight right now. I'm going to loosen it up. I'm going to give it slack in the system. Because I'm giving it slack, I can then pull that slack and put it into the sprockets. So take this, give it slack, take the chain, get my hands dirty, and I'm just going to drop it into any one of these teeth. Now, once I start pedaling, they will actually go into the correct gears. So whatever gear I was in, it will change into that gear. And now my wheel spins, I am good. Okay, a couple of things that we've noticed have gotten loose on these bikes. The kickstand and the crankshaft. Now, the crankshaft, if I hold on to the bike, the pedals are going to go back and forth, right? That's going to happen. But I do not want any play or any wiggle back and forth away from me or toward me. So this is solid. Along with that, the kickstand has been having the same issue. Okay, just give it a wiggle. Make sure it's tight on there. If they're not, it's a simple T-wrench in there, wrench in there. Just tighten them up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Final piece to look at with the kickstand, make sure the kickstand works, right? But when you put it up, you need to make sure it's tucked underneath there. At times, if this gets loose, or sometimes this just starts popping out, okay, and when your pedal comes, it can actually click against there and it causes a lot of issues. So again, make sure that that's tucked underneath. I'm talking about the seat height. First off, let's talk about the frame. This is 16-inch frame. Normally I ride an 18-inch frame at school. This is a 16-inch frame. I can ride it though, okay, because we can adjust the seat height. Okay, the frame size, we need to be able to clear that if we're standing, but that doesn't mean flat-footed. I can be on my tippy toes. That's fine, because generally I'm gonna be leaned to one side. Okay, so again, as long as you can touch with your tippy toes while you're above the frame, you're fine, which is why I normally ride an 18-inch frame. So to adjust the seat, we're going to use the same quick release lever. I want you to find the point that you feel comfortable for yourself, but I have found where I am is right below my hip bone with the seat. So I know that every time I go up to it, I can adjust it to myself really quickly. When on a bike, the correct way is when I am sitting at the top of the seat post, okay, I do not want this much bend in my leg. I want to have more ability to use my full range of motion in my leg. So this seat is too low for me. I'm going to open up the quick release, raise the seat some more, and lock it down. Also make sure that I'm in line with the bike. Now from here, if I go, I'm a lot better. Okay, my toe, the sole of my foot is what I'm going to put on the pedal, and I have almost a straight leg, but it's not as bent. I could go up even a little bit higher. This again is why I ride an 18-inch wheel. I don't want to bring the seat any farther out because it has the potential falling out. So this is pretty much my limit, my range of motion. This is when I would bump up size of bike to my 18-inch frame. Okay, on the other end, I do not want my leg to be locked out. Rolling in with the 18-inch frame. Now, that's the seat for my son. Those are for my son. We'll talk about that later. Now, when I'm sitting there, my leg is a lot straighter, okay? But again, I'm not locked out. I have a lot better range of motion with this. What I'm looking to avoid is raising my seat too much, okay? If I raise my seat too much, then when I pedal, I actually have to reach and lock my leg out. Okay, that is not going to be comfortable. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Not looking for that. So I'm going to drop my seat from that height. Talk about tire pressure. If you look at the tires, and you can read that it says inflate to 30 to 60 PSI, okay? The reason there are factors is your weight comes into factor and what you're riding on comes into factor, okay? The harder surface you're riding on, pavement, hard trails, things like that, then you can bump up your PSI. But then things like loose dirt, or if I'm gonna ride on the beach or maybe some rock or something like that, I may want to lower my pressure. Or if I'm trying to do some tricks or something, I may lower my pressure depending on what I'm doing. So generally what we do at school is we inflate to 40 PSI. I'm a lighter person, so on my bike I pumped up to 45 to 50 PSI right in there, because I'm also mostly riding trails that are pavement or harder in surface. So to put air in my tires, I'm going to take off this cap. Okay, this cap does not hold any air in. It keeps dirt and debris and all nastiness from going inside there, but you don't want to lose it, okay? I am going to find the bigger end of the nozzle, attach it on. You can hear air coming out now. So what I have to do is I have to lock it by turning this in the opposite direction. Now I'm locked on, and now I can start pumping and set this to what PSI I want. Like I said, I want to go up to about 45, 50 PSI, somewhere in there. Let's try 45. I've been riding with my son on there lately. So I'm just gonna go up and start pumping until we get to 45. Now that the needle is matched up with my yellow mark, I know I am where I want to be, good to go. I'm just going to pull this, release it, and pull it off at the same time so that not a lot of air comes out. Then I take that cap that I kept in my hand so I didn't lose, or in a safe spot. Righty tighty, twist it back on. This tire's good, do the same with the back.